Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuttapadakam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamsha Namom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धून एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you all for this wonderful class of Sri Ram Navami.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam Mataji.
So what we are trying to do is we are actually trying to gear our consciousness for Ram Navami. We're trying to prepare our consciousness for Ram Navami. We are trying to invite the Supreme Lord into the womb of our consciousness by sincerely rearing Ram Katha, chanting, singing his glories, and all the time being in an attitude of full surrender to the Supreme Lord, having an attitude or service attitude for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are trying to always see that how will I always establish my eternal relationship, that is my permanent relationship that I have with the Supreme Lord. So when we are actually hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, be it Ram Navami, Janmashtami, or any other stories that whatever we are hearing. So when we have Leela, then we have Katha also with us. It's not only just Leela, Leela. But then you have Tattva also. You have some principles also. So Hari Katha is so very powerful that it is said in the Bhagavatam, Nivritta tasya rupagiyamana pavaushadi chotra manobhirama ka uttama shloka gunanuvada puman vrajayat vina pashuganat. He says that over there, that Nivritta tarshe. He says that Nivritta means anybody who is free from Tasra, he anybody who is free from lust or greed of this material activities. And he's saying that anybody who is free from these lust, greed, anger, and upagiyamana. So upagiyamana means who is constantly hearing from the spiritual master. So anybody who is hearing and who is hearing this glorification, is relishing this Hari Katha, and he's no longer interested in this false temporary glorification of this material world. And he's saying that ka uttama shloka gunanuvadat. He's saying that whatever are these descriptions of the Supreme Lord, They are uttama shloka, they are to be glorified. When you say uttama shlok means the uttam shlok, that word is actually for Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's saying kaha uttama shloka gunanu vadat. So anybody who's describing, anybody who's hearing these descriptions, then what is happening to that particular person? He is actually getting that particular medicine by hearing the descriptions of the Supreme Personality of God. That is the right medicine, which is bhav aushadhi. This Hari Katha is the bhav aushadhi for the living entities of this world, so that they can come out of the cycle of birth and death. And then he's saying that puman vrajeta vina pashunganat. So only a butcher can cease to hear such glorification, and he is an atmaha. Atmaha means killer of the soul. So Bhagavatam 10th canto, the very first chapter itself explains. So this entire story of Ramayana is to make us humble. So when you say Ayodhya, that the whole pastime is taken place in Ayodhya and many other parts of South India also. So Ayodhya basically means a city which cannot be defeated. But this is a very ironical name, because everyone is subjected to defeat. No one can avoid defeat. Dashrath was not an ordinary king who had just a career of maybe 30-40 years. No, 60,000 years and undefeated. Nobody could defeat him. Dashratha, he could fight in 10 different directions. But how the time factor, will change even after 60,000 years, it is not within the control of any human being. So Dashrath, when he, begot 4 sons, Ram, Bharat, Lakshman and Shatrughan. So initially Ram and Bharat were kept next to each other, and Lakshman and Shatrughan were next to each other. So, Lakshman always kept on crying. So then nobody was able to understand that why is Lakshman all the time crying. So Vasishtha Muni said that no, you do one thing. You bring Lakshman next to Ram, and you bring Shatrughan next to Bharat, because even Shatrughan was crying. So then when they were bought, then, both Shatrughan and Lakshman, they both were pacified. So what is the meaning of Ram? Ram basically in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, I was just reading some couple of months back, and I remember that Ram basically means that one who is a reservoir of pleasure. Ramante yogino anante satyanande chidatmani iti Rama padenashu param brahma bhidiyate. Ramante yogino. Yogino means one who is advancing in, spiritual activities, advancing in Krishna consciousness. So they are called yogi. And what these yogis do, these are Ramante. So Ramante means they take great pleasure. Great pleasure means, what are they taking great pleasure in? They are taking great pleasure in the hearing the pastimes of the Lord, worshipping the Lord. So they take great pleasure. Satyanande, Ramante yogino anante, Satyanande chidatmani. So he's saying that Satyanande means they're relishing that actual happiness, because this living entity, he is Sat, Chit and Ananda. Okay, so that is, he is full of eternity, bliss and knowledge. So happiness is the prerogative of a living entity. So there is happiness, but they do not know where is that happiness. People are finding happiness, but actually they do not know where the happiness is, and they are finding happiness in wrong places. So in this material conception also, we actually do not know what is real happiness. So those who are yogis and those who are transcendentalists, they are advancing in spiritual life, and they know what is happiness. So Ram is an ocean of pleasure. That is the meaning of Ram, and one who is providing this pleasure simply by his darshan. Because Ram was personification of beauty, and the soul is searching for that perfect object to view and to fulfill that thirst of the eyes. So the soul has some thirst, and it has thirst of different sense objects. The eyes have some thirst, the ears have some thirst, the mouth has some thirst, the nose has some thirst. So we all are attracted to some beautiful objects, but the beautiful objects of this material world are very temporary, and Ram is referring to the ocean of that pleasure. So when Rukmini, she's writing a letter to Krishna, and she's saying that, my dear Lord, I have not seen you. I have not had your darshan also. But I have heard about your beauty. The description of your beauty, when it is entering my heart, it touches my heart, and the heat of this body and senses, they are actually going away. So when we come in contact with the beauty of this world, the heat and the heat of this body and the senses, it keeps on increasing. But when we come in contact with Krishna's beauty, then we become completely pacified, peaceful, happy, jubilant. Why? Because we are seeing, we are seeing the beautiful form of the Supreme Lord. And that is why Srila Prabhupada has established temples. And these temples, Srila Prabhupada establishes, and he is installing deities also, so that we can worship that beautiful form of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, we are having deities, that by seeing these deities, all of our heart's desire can be fulfilled, and we can chant the holy names of the Supreme Lord. And for that, we are ready to sacrifice anything for the pleasure. But Krishna consciousness is how we are able to sacrifice things for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. And this is the beauty of bhakti. That we think happiness is a product, and we think, okay, I can buy happiness. So to buy happiness, then what we do? We go, searching in malls for happiness. So many categories of happinesses we see, but we will never get happiness as as a product, in the mall. And that is why people are very much frustrated. People are thinking that I'm trying to purchase happiness, I'm trying to purchase happiness in this market, that market, but it is not available. It is not available anywhere. But in the mall, you can purchase that artificial happiness. So this happiness is not available outside the mall. It is said that you purchase happiness and take home happiness. So you buy different material things from the mall. But when we are entering also the mall, then what is happening? We have one section after the another section, 3-4 sections, and and complete mall we have searched, but then we don't find happiness anywhere. There are you think that there is happiness, but there are only varieties of miseries are there. And that is why we may not find happiness as a product in the mall anywhere. But you will see, in the product categories, there are varieties of sense gratification are sold in the mall. So just as there are several categories of sense gratification, then there are several categories of even services. Services to the country, service to the nation, service to mother, service to father, service to students, and service to society. So service to this, that, every service is there. But service to Krishna, where it is? So in that mall, if we purchase service as a product, then you are paying the bill, you get free. You're paying this, you get this free. So that free gift is a happiness as a byproduct, and therefore happiness is not a product it is a byproduct. So if you go in this world searching for happiness, you will not find it. So you should go searching for what then? You should go searching for service, searching for an experience of sacrifice. Then automatically, happiness comes. That is the secret which is, which eludes most people. So never look in the world for happiness. Always look for service. And happiness is given as a free gift offer along with whatever you take. Then you pick up sense gratification as a product, then misery is given as a byproduct. Pure unalloyed misery. Take it and suffer. So there were most people are very much eager to understand who is God and what is God. And previously, people used to come, to India to experience God. But, India is supposed to be a country of temples, right? But if that knowledge is not there, then even if the temple is there and one will not experience any transformation. Therefore, Prabhupada is establishing temples where there are not only deities, but where there is knowledge is also transferred. So we cannot see God in a very challenging mood. We can see God only in service mode or with a submissive mood we can see. So actually, when we are studying these scriptures, we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we are studying Bhagavatam, we are studying Ramayana, we will develop knowledge. But empowerment will come only when there is submissive surrender to the study of these scriptures and to the study of the different, commentaries by the acharyas. And it will give you submissive surrender. And this submissive surrender only will give empowerment. So through this, reminder, Lord Ram is trying to demonstrate that, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am the reservoir of pleasure. Reservoir यानी क्या बोले ना कि एक पूरा तालाब हूं मैं, आओ और डुबकी लगाओ. And I am willing to give you all that pleasure. But who is able to access this pleasure? This pleasure only the pure unalloyed devotees are able to access this pleasure. And one of the persons who is able to access this pleasure is Lakshmana. And therefore Lakshman, when the word Lakshman, when you say Lakshmana Lakshmi Sampanna, so Lakshman is defined as that he found everything about Ram very attractive. In fact, when he was walking, Lakshman would think that this is actually my eternal Pran who is, walking. Lakshman, that is the Lakshman means Lakshmi Sampannal. So Lakshmi, means that who is endowed with Lakshmi. And with Lakshmi, one who is endowed with his excellence. So Lakshman is going to the forest. He does not have any money. So what is the Lakshmi we are talking about? Lakshmi means opulence, of what opulence are we talking about? So we are talking about the opulence of bhakti, devotional service. So Lakshmana was very simple, devotional personified. And that is the real wealth we should be aspiring for. Because in the human form of life, what is the meaning that, we are just running after temporary things? Then why not to run after permanent things? So Lakshman signifies that if you try to acquire world in this world, we will not be satisfied. There will always be some pinpricks all in. So all the other wealth that we need to maintain a body, but the wealth which will really satisfy and pacify the heart and flood our hearts with that joy is actually only bhakti. And the beautiful thing, over here is that Lord Ramachandra's birth, till that time, there was only one person till the time when, when Lord Ram was born, until the time, he did not leave, There was one person who was constantly, who was accompanying Lord Ram, and that is actually Lakshman. Usually, in this world, we find that, the princess or the, king, they are, they never serve another king. So a Kshatriya will never serve another Kshatriya. Why? Because the Kshatriya needs a kingdom to rule. But you over here see that Lakshmana is a prince, and then of course he will also, he's a Kshatriya and he needs a kingdom. But over here, Ramayana is demonstrating that Lakshman, though he is Kshatriya, he's supposed to be a king, but he is serving his brother, another king, like a very menial servant. So Ramayana is demonstrating the truth beyond even Varnashram Dharma of the soul, which is eternal service. Otherwise, every Kshatriya, he needs his own space to rule and control. Whereas Lakshman over here is giving up everything to be a menial servant of Lord Ram. So we may think that what is real wealth, and Ramayana is actually demonstrating that the real wealth is service. So, I had heard from one of the lectures, that there was one very wealthy person. He was having crores and crores of rupees. And he was telling one of the ISKCON devotees that, see, I have so much money, but all this money is like an ocean of money that I have. But the problem is with this ocean water that is there, it cannot satisfy me or quench my thirst. So although I'm increasing, my wealth like anything, but my thirst is not getting quenched. Whereas you all people are, chanting Hare Krishna, you're practicing bhakti in your heart. You have a water which is like a well water, sweet but deep. And all that water, ocean water in my heart that is there, it is not helping me. So n number of, wealth you have, any amount of, fame you have, but till the time we will not do bhakti, our hearts will never be satisfied. So Lakshmana is one person who is, demonstrating that pure bhakti that is there should be only towards the Supreme Lord. And one of the qualities of Lord Ram is that he is dharmagya. Dharmagya means one who knows his duties of protecting those who have surrendered to him. So when Ravana, he had created a havoc, all the types of, demigods had gathered and they requested him to appear. So at that point of time, Lord Vishnu in the milk ocean, he makes a condition to these demigods that, see, I will definitely appear. But if I have to appear, then you also have to perform some austerities. Because bhakti means sarva upadi vinurmuktam tat pravaltina nirmalam. One has to become free from all the designation, all that post position. I am a prime minister, I am a teacher, I am a doctor, I am a engineer, I am a lawyer. All these designations you have to give. So then you all have to become monkeys and be a part of that Vanar Sena. And then you have to assist me in those pastimes. So this is the first prayer that the demigods pray, and the Lord accepts those prayers. And the demigods actually fulfill the order of the Supreme Lord by becoming monkeys. So there are 4 reasons why the Lord appears. And in the Bhagavatam, Srila Shukdev Goswami says that Purusho Ramacharitram Shravane Rupadharayan Anushamshaya Parorajana Karma Bandher Vimuchyate. He says that, hey Parikshit Maharaj, anyone who is actually hearing Shravaner, anyone who is hearing these narrations about Lord Sri Ram, the characteristics of Ramacharitram, characteristics of Lord Ram, or the qualities of Lord Ram, what will happen to him? Karma bandhera vimuchyate. He'll be free from the disease of envy, and he'll be liberated from this bondage of fruitive activities. So in this material world, everyone is, envious of somebody. There is envy filled with everywhere. Competition is there. But devotees don't have envy. A devotee will be completely free from envy, especially to the other devotees. So To envy other devotees is a very great offense, Vaishnava Aparadh. So a devotee, when he's constantly engaged in hearing and chanting, then he's free from envy. And envy, if you know, is the root cause to material, envy is the root cause why we have come over here. And if we are free from envy, then again we become eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. But for that, then what do we have to do? What we'll have to do, we'll have to actually keep on hearing. So again, in one of the previous, in the 9th canto, again Shukdev Goswami says, Tasyanucharitam rajan rishibhistattvadarshibhi shrutam hi varnitam bhuri tvaya sita pater muhur. He says that Tasya anucharitam rajan. Tasya anucharitam. Anybody who is hearing the activities of Lord Ram, then what is happening? When anybody is hearing the activities of Lord Ram, from whom? From definitely the disciplic succession. Those people who have seen the truth. And because, you have seen and you have heard, Shrutam hi varnitam bhuri. So again, Tvai Sita Pater Moh, you have been hearing these pastimes very often, more often, again and again you've been hearing these pastimes. So that's why I'm going to describe these pastimes only in 2 chapters. And that's why you see in Ramayana, in Srimad Bhagavatam, then you have only 2 chapters dedicated to Lord Ramachandra. So traditionally people used to hear it for hours and hours about Ram Katha. Every evening, everybody, in India used to hear Ram Katha in the evenings. Even when Krishna was in Dwarka, every afternoon, even Krishna would hear about Lord Ram. That is the glory of Ramayana. So people used to hear every evening in those days, because that in those times, it was a gadget-free society. And nowadays, because we have so many gadgets and so much distractions, so the pastimes of Lord Ram, the pastimes of Lord Ram have even, attracted the ears of Krishna so much, so that the very name, Krishna means all attractive. And Lord Ramachandra's pastimes have even attracted the all attractive. So, this is said. And even in the, Bhagavatam, again it is saying that Ata Pumbe Dvija Shreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasha Swanushtasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. What is the aim of life? The aim of life is to please the personality of Godhead. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Samsiddhi means the highest perfection, and Toshanam means pleasing. So the highest perfection of life is to please Hari. So, and then how to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Then again in the Bhagavatam only these questions are written. To please the Supreme Lord, it's the sages say that, what is the shloka? 2nd chapter, 14th Bhagavatam. Tasmadekena manasa Bhagwan satatam pati Shrottavya Ketitavyascha Dheya Pujasya Nityada. So, there are 4 things over here that he's saying that Tasmad Ekena Manasa. Ekena means one. Manasa means one pointed attention. What you should do with that one pointed attention? You should constantly Shrottavya, hear, Kirtitavyasya, glorify, Dheya, remember, and Puja, worship the Supreme Lord. How? For 1 minute, 2 minutes? No. He's saying, Dheya Pujascha Nityada. Constantly keep on, hearing these pastimes. So even Bhishma Devi in Vishnu Shastranam, what he's saying that, Yasya Smarana Matrena Janma Sansara Bandhanat Vimucchatte Namastasmai Vishnu Prabhave Vishnave. So even Bhishma Dev in Vishnu Sahasranam is saying that just by remembering Vishnu once in proper consciousness, we will become free from the cycle of birth and death. Even Srimad Bhagavatam is describing, when even Yamraj, when he's speaking to the Yamdutas, and the Yamdutas are saying that whom should we get to hell? who are our, prospectus. And Vishnu Dutas are also claiming Ajamil. And now we are also claiming. We are in actually a dilemma. We are in a twist. Whose property is this Ajamil? So Yamaraja says that, no, Ajamil belongs to the Vishnu Dutas. Then the Yamdutas are asking that, whom are we supposed to catch? So then Yamaraj is over in the Bhagavatam, he is giving a guideline. He says that, Jivhana Vakti Bhagavad Gunaya Namedhyam Chetasna Smarati Tacharanar Vindam Krishnasya no Namati Yachira Ekadapi Tannan Yadvan Asatok Akrit Vishnu Krityayan. He says that Jivhana Vakti Bhagavad Guna Nama Dhyayam. So that Jiva, that tongue which is not uttering or glorifying the holy names and the qualities of Krishna, then he is saying that Chetaschana Smarati Tat Charanar Vindam, those whose heart do not remember the lotus feet of Krishna even once. And then he's saying that Krishnaya no namati yachir ekadapi. He's saying that whose heart do not even bow down once to Lord Krishna. Send those people to me. Then he's telling that. Then he's saying that Tan ana yad vayam asato krita Vishnu kritya. Then he's saying that those who are not performing these duties towards Vishnu, which are the only duties in human life, then please bring me such fools and rascals. So then what is the way to be protected? Then what is the solution to get out? Who is that person whom we are supposed to touch then? Because he's saying that, not to catch such people. Then whom to touch? Whom should we, touch then? If people who are chanting, glorifying, remembering, bowing down, but then which people to bring then? Then he's saying, Yamaraj is saying that Sakrin mana Krishna padar vindayom niveshitam tad gune ragi yer iha nateyamam pasha bhritascha tad bhatan swapne api pashyanti na chire nishkritaha. He's saying that which people to bring then? Then Sakrit, only once, those people who are, not taken to the pastimes of Lord, those who are not chanting, then you bring these people to me. So, although he's saying that, we have realized Krishna, people who have even once surrendered completely to the lotus feet of Lord, who have become attracted to his name, form, quality, pastime, they are completely free from all such reactions. And because such people have accepted me, then that is their true atonement. True atonement means what? They are chanting the holy names of the Lord. So such people, you do not get them. But those who are not doing all these activities, then he's telling that you please bring them to me, bind them with ropes and bring. So we were talking about the four things to connect to Krishna. I think Tasmadekena manasa Bhagwan Satatam Pati Trottavya Kiti Tavyascha Dheya Pujascha Nityada. So these four things are in our temples. And this impression we must always carry with us. We should be in a mood that, yes, I'm a beggar. I have come to take darshan. So these are the four ways by which we can have our consciousness flooded. And all that negativity can be replaced. It takes time, but it is a short process that you are doing Shravan, you're doing Kirtan, you're worshipping. So whenever we are going through any problem, then it is because of lack of sufficient devotional service to the Supreme Lord. And because when we have sufficient devotional practice, the problem doesn't seem a problem. It seems as if it is an opportunity of mercy by the Supreme Lord. So the things is a problem. Why? Because we are not used to see Krishna's hand, in all that problems. We are busy blaming, we are busy calling the medians of mercy as a medium of punishment. So the problems are called problems because we do not see Krishna's hand, and because we do not see Krishna's hand, then we are lacking of hearing about him. All we have to do in this human form of life with our 2 years, we have to keep on hearing sufficiently about the Supreme Lord, about the glories of the Supreme Lord, chant his holy names. And even if you see the Vraja Gopis also, what they used to do. So there is a very nice shloka in the Bhagavatam, which I am remembering. Sorry, I have forgotten. Vismriti. What is it? Uh, I'm not able to remember. She says that, okay, I remember, I think 2 lines. Gayanti chenam anurakta dhiyo ashru kanthayo dhanaya vraja shritaya urukram chittayanah. So I think these ladies of Vraja, they are very fortunate. Why they are fortunate? Because with their minds, they are completely attached to Krishna. And their throats always get choked up with tears. They're constantly singing about him while doing all these different activities. They are doing so many activities. The gopis are milking the cows, they are winnowing the grains, they're churning the butter, they're gathering the cow dung for fuel, they are riding on swings, they're taking care of their small babies, they're sprinkling water on the ground, cleaning their houses. So all the time their consciousness is always in the Supreme Lord, and by their exalted consciousness, Krishna, they are automatically acquiring all those desirable things. So now with this particular introduction that I have given on the glories of sufficiently hearing, so by hearing Ramayana we will get only good fortune. By hearing it again and again, only one thing we'll get good fortune. So it is said, I had heard this story from His Grace Amarendra Prabhu last year in Ram Katha. He said that Lord Shiva got in touch with this original Ramayana, the 100 crore text verses, and Lord Shiva was very excited to share it. He said that, how can I keep it, with me? Because why? Devotees are very compassionate. They want whatever good they get, they want to share it with the others. Those who are suffering, those who are bereft of whatever happiness he has, he wants to share it. That is the nature of a Vaishnava. And who is Shiva? Vaishnavam Yatha Shambho. Amongst the Vaishnavas also, he is the topmost Vaishnava. So then he's saying, how can I keep it? So he divided this 100 crore by 3. He gave 33 crore verses to the upper planetary systems, 33 crore to the lower planetary systems, and 33 crore verses to the middle planetary systems. So now, after giving all these 33 crores to different 3 levels, now he's left with 1 crore verses. Now, Mother Parvati, who's sitting over there, and she's asking that, what are you going to do with this? So then he said, too many verses, and he says, okay, I'll divide them again. So again, he's dividing those 1 crore verses by 3. He gave 33 lakh verses to the upper planetary system, 33 lakh verses to the lower planetary systems, and 33 lakh verses to the middle planetary systems. And now he was left with 1 lakh verses. So Mother Parvati is saying that, I hope you're not going to share with anyone now. But now, his compassion grew too much that it completely eclipsed his promise. So he said he had 1 lakh verses. So again, he gave 33,000 verses to the upper planetary systems, 33,000 verses to the middle planetary systems, and 33,000 to the lower planets. Now he's left with 1,000 verses. Now Mother Parvati is saying that, please don't give it or share it with anyone. And he said, okay, I promise, I'm not going to give it to anyone. Don't worry. But the very next moment, compassion again. He said that the world is bereft of Ram Bhakti. So again, he gave 333 verses, because 1,000 verses were left with him. 333 verses to the upper planetary systems, 333 verses to the middle, and 333 verses to the lower planetary systems. And now he is left with one verse. Mother Parvati said, one verse out of 100 crore verses, you have only one verse. And Mother Parvati is lamenting, and he's saying to Mother Parvati that, see, I promise I'm going to preserve this one verse in my heart. And then again he thought, this one verse has been composed in a meter called Anushruta Chanda. This Anushruta Chanda has 4 lines of 8 syllables. So 4 into 8 is how much? 32. So 4 lines, 8 syllables is 32 verses. And this is one verse. So he thought that, what am I going to do with 32 syllables? And again he divided 10 syllables to the upper planetary, 10 to the lower, and 10 to the middle. And then, he said, Mother Parvati is asking, how many syllables you have? He said, I'm left with only 2 syllables. And he told, those 2 syllables have the whole of Ramayana. And those 2 syllables are Rama. And he further said that one who holds these 2 syllables in his heart, what need is there to, read or hear anything else? So this is the glorification of Ramayana, that 100 crore verses, and then Lord Shiva, with his compassion, he kept only one syllable with him, that is Rama. So this is, about Lord Shiva. So there's another story where, Ram and Ravana, and, there is a nice this that after Ram, Ram, after the battle of, Ram and Ravan, Lord Ram is telling his brother Lakshman, he's telling, go to Ravana quickly before he dies and request him to share whatever knowledge he has and whatever knowledge he can. He may be a demon, but he's a great scholar also. So Lakshmana, he, grows across that battlefield, and he goes to the side of Ravana, and he whispers in his ears and says that, O king, do not let your knowledge die with you. Share it with us and wash away all your sins that you have. So Ravana is responding, by just turning away his head this way. So then Lakshmana got angry, and he went back to Lord Ram, saying, I told you he was an arrogant, and he's always proud. He will never share anything. So Ram said that, Ram is confirming Lakshmana that, where did he sit while, asking Ravana for knowledge? Then Lakshmana is saying that next to his head, so that I can hear whatever he is saying clearly. So Rama is saying, Ram is smiling, and he's saying that, he's smiling, and he placed his Gandiva bow on the ground, and he walked up to Ravana. And then Lakshman is actually watching in astonishment that, what is Ram up to, And Ram knelt down. He was kneeling in front of Ravana with his palms joined with extreme humility. And Lord Ram is telling, hey, Lord of Lanka, you actually kidnapped my wife. You did a very terrible crime for which, I was forced to punish you. But now you're no more my enemy. I bow down to you, and I request you to share all that wisdom you have with me. So please do that, because if you die without doing, all your wisdom will be lost forever for this whole world. So to Lakshmana's surprise, Ravana opened his eyes and raised his arms to salute Lord Ram. And he's telling Lord Ram that, if only I had more time as your teacher than as your enemy. You are standing at my feet as a student should. Unlike your, your rude brother Lakshmana, you are the worthy recipient of my knowledge. So he's saying that I have very little time and I cannot share much, but let me tell you, some important lessons that I have learned in my life. So because Ravana was a very big jnani, so he's saying that those things that are bad for you will seduce you very easily, and you will run towards them very impatiently. So, for example, for a particular person, something is bad and not good, he will feel like going and having that thing again and again. So, he's saying that what you should do then such things you must postpone. These bad actions you must postpone as much as you can. So even tomorrow something is bad, what is something is unfavorable for us, it will seduce us very easily and we'll run again and again. So nowadays what seduces us very easily? Mobile phone seduces us very easily, and we keep on running. For a boy, a girl will be seductive, or for a girl, a man will be seductive, or for a particular uh, national leader, or for a particular person in the ministry, for him post position will be very much seductive to him. So he's telling, no, don't go hastily, because these are those actions which we will run without thinking also. Then he's saying that then those things which are good for you, it will fail to attract you. कुछ भी अच्छी चीज है आपको आकर्षित नहीं करेगी जल्दी. So for example, bhakti will not attract you very easily. So what we will do, we'll keep on avoiding them. We'll avoid them very creatively. Aaj nahi, kal nahi, parso. We'll keep on finding even very powerful excuses to justify our procrastination. You know what happened? I was just about to do it, but this happened and that. I mean, we'll have many hundreds of excuses. So he's saying what you should do. You should do good action without delay. Kal kare so, aaj kare so, ab as much early as you can. So this is why, he was saying that my fault was that I was impatient to kidnap Sita, but I was avoiding meeting you. So what are we also trying to do? We are very impatient to kidnap the wrong things in the world. We are very impatient to kidnap anything that is unfavorable for our bhakti. But we will avoid whatever is favorable for our bhakti. We will avoid chanting. We will avoid the good teachings, good advices of the devotees. And he's saying that this only wisdom of my life, I'm giving it to you, and you please take it. So then, when Ravana is falling to the ground also, he's calling Lord Ram that please come here. So Lord Ram is coming near and he's saying, what is the matter? So Ravana is saying that, see, even though you have shot me, I am the true victor. I am the, person who has got victory. My whole life, I did not allow you to enter into my kingdom of Sri Lanka. And even after my death, it will remain mine only. Why? Because I sent my younger brother Vibhishan to you, and you appointed him the king of my kingdom. So this is how, I have saved the kingdom for the demons. Because what Ram had done, Ram had not taken the he did not become the king of Lanka. He installed Vibhishan on that throne. So he's saying, if I had sent Vibhishan to you ahead of time, today you would be the king of Lanka. So, and I was very diplomatic, but you could not detect my diplomacy. So here Ravana is telling that, because Ravana had knowledge, he's saying that, see, I'm going to our home, the spiritual world, even before you, and you cannot stop me from entering into our residence. So if you meditate all upon this, actually victory is mine only. So how actually? Because once, there was a great king called Mahabali, and this Mahabali had advised Ravana to shun down these 9 emotions, to keep this intellect which it justifies that possessions of all these aspects of equally important, and it makes him a complete man. So what was that one thing that he had? Is the one head of buddhi which controlled his destiny, and all the other heads of Ravana, it controlled his actions, which ultimately led to Ravana's actually destruction. So he eventually became a slave of his senses. And since he could not control his desires, he not only, destroyed himself and his, praja, but the whole of Lanka was, reduced to ashes. So all that knowledge, that he had, he was not able to, save him from that battle between Ram and himself. So he was regretting that, see, I did not practice this wisdom that I had all my life. And now eventually, I have to, I've had a downfall. So see, Ravana had 10 heads. And all those 10 heads, we all know that they represent, one head is representing something, is a symbol of something. So the first head is, of lust, kam. The second is of krodha. Then the third is of moha, delusion. The fourth is of lobha, greed. Then the fifth is of pride. What do you say? Mother. The sixth is of matsarya, envy. The seventh is of manas, that is the mind. The eighth is buddhi, intellect. The ninth is chitta, or the will. And the last is ahamkara. Ahamkara he had in, full matra he had, full percentage he had. So these first six that are there, Kam, Krodh, Mad, Moh, Lobh, and Matsarya, these are called Shad Ripu. Shad Ripu means, Shad means six, and Ripu means actually enemies. So Ravana, this example clearly is illustrating that no one is more generous than Lord Ram. Why? Because Ravana tortured Ram and, shot him, but at the end, the Lord sent him to his eternal abode. And only an unintelligent people or person would leave such a merciful Lord aside and worship another Lord. So, serving the Lord, chanting his holy names can only at once fulfill the person's desire. In the Bhagavatam, there is a shloka which says that akama sarva kamova moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. He's saying that any person who has no material desires, or who has unlimited material desires, or who's even desiring liberation, if that person has good intelligence, so what should they do? They should please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how should they please the Supreme Personality of Godhead? By sincerely doing devotional service or bhakti to the Supreme Lord. So, such a nice example that only by serving the Supreme Lord, chanting, a person can, easily please the Supreme Lord. So, this is a very easy method. There's nothing very difficult. And if you see in Lord Ram pastime, there is no bar of caste, creed, color, species, anything. To that matter, even Shabri. Shabri was a daughter of a hunter. She wasn't very good looking woman, but her heart was very, pure gold. So, before the day of her wedding, she saw many thousands of goats and sheep that her father had bought to actually, butcher. And she couldn't, bear to see those animals being killed. So she ran away in the forest in the early morning so that, she will avoid seeing those animals being killed. And she went to many teachers, to ask them that, okay, please accept me as a disciple. I want to know what is, Brahmagyan. And all these teachers, rejected her because she was of a very low caste. She was, she was Bhilni. And they thought that she's not very worthy of learning this Brahmagyan. So she came to the ashram of Matanga Muni. And Matang Muni welcomed her and took her as her disciple. But the other rishis, they were very much angry with Matanga Muni that, how can you accept an outcast as your disciple? And they criticized him and they called him as fallen and impure. But Matanga Muni told Shabri that, see, you stay in this ashram, clean the ashram, take care of, the other different jobs in this ashram, serve, this, and everything will be fine with you. But all again, these, other rishis in the forest, they were not happy because they became, she became Matanga Muni's disciple. So Shabri was telling once Matanga Muni that, see, all these rishis, they are not very happy with me because I am your disciple. So then Matanga Muni is saying that, see, you have come to me seeking the greatest inquiry, and I will give you shelter. And I am very firm on my this decision. So after that, she was living very peacefully in the ashram, during doing all her daily duties, taking care of the cows and pasturing them. And all these rishis who were very still ignorant about her position, they're rejecting Shabri and her guru, and they're calling them impure. So one day when, Matang Muni, he was very old, he called Shabri. He said that, see, I'm leaving my body. And is there anything you want me to do for you? See, such a nice, humble mood the Rishi had, or the Muni had, that he's asking, what can I do for you? Because the disciple has served the Guru in such a nice way that the Guru is asking a benediction, that ask a benediction. So Shabri is, saying that she's praying with her folded palms, saying that, see, Lord, take me with you wherever you are going, you're going, I'm sure, to the highest abode, please take me along with you. I cannot live without you. So a disciple cannot live for a moment without the spiritual master. And how is he living with the spiritual master 24/7? By following his instructions. So if you're following the instructions of your spiritual master throughout the day, then 24/7 you are with your spiritual master. You are not, even for a moment, you are away from your spiritual master. Why? Because the spiritual master is the direct manifestation of the Paramatma sitting in your heart. The moment a jiva desires that I want to worship the Supreme Lord, then what happens? Immediately, the Paramatma jumps out from your heart and he manifests himself before you as the spiritual master. So Matanga Muni said that, see, one day Lord Ram will come to see you, and till that, you please, stay alive and you stay over here only. And then after you have met Lord Ram, then you can come to me. So then, Shabri stayed over there in a lot of anticipation of Lord Ram. Why? Because Matang Muni never told her that when Lord Ram is coming, after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, or how many years. So, for example, somebody is telling you that, okay, I will come, but when will you come? At 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock? Or do I have to wait my whole life that when will you come back again? Right? So, Shabri is in anticipation with Lord Ram that when will Lord Ram come? So she's anticipating, okay, today Lord Ram will come. So in that anticipation, she would get up early in the morning every day and go to the forest to collect berries to serve Lord Ram. And she did not know that when Lord Ram is coming, so she would go and collect every day. And like this, she's spending many, many years. So just near that ashram of Matanga Muni, there was a very beautiful lake called Pampasarar. And Shabri, was now become very old after many, many years. She went to that lake to fill water from that lake. And there was one rishi who was sitting, over there, and he was chanting some mantras. And because he was old, he was reciting those mantras wrongly. And he heard Shabri filling water from that lake. So then he's thinking that, oh, this low class woman, she's making this water impure for her use. So then what he did, he threw a stone at her in anger. And that stone hit her leg. And blood started coming out, from her. And because the blood started coming out from her leg, then that drop of blood, it fell into that lake. And within seconds, that the water in that lake became blood. And this rishi is shouting loudly, see, look, this, outcast lady with this one drop of blood, she has, contaminated the whole lake. Now what should we do? And then Shabri, she went to her ashram, with that water pot that she was carrying. And the rishi had now no water to drink, because why? Or use for their, yagyas or something. Why? Because that water had got contaminated with her blood. So they started chanting all mantras, doing yagyas and doing havanas and throwing all that holy powder into that lake, but nothing happened. And that water still remained blood only. So they bought water from Ganga, Yamuna, everywhere, but they were not able to clean that lake. So then one of the rishis in that group, he said that, see, Lord Ram has come and he is wandering in the forest. He can help us. Let's go to him and we'll pray to him, and he will turn this blood into water again. So then they went and they requested Lord Ram to to come to this Palm Sarovar. And Lord Ram, he's saying that Lord Ram actually came over there, because that rishi went and he said that, can you please, come to this Palm Sarovar, because, everywhere this water has become, stained with blood. So Lord Ram is telling, okay, the rishis is saying that, if you, even if you touch your lotus feet in that lake, it will turn that water back into clean water. So then Lord Ram, he's, walking towards that lake, and Lord Ram walked inside the lake also, but still that, water was stained with blood. The blood did not come out. Then the rishis are saying, okay, please take a dip in it, Lord. Then he's taking a dip also, but nothing changed. Then these rishis are saying that, okay, please, the rishis are saying, please clean your mouth with it and spit it back into this. So then Lord Ram, took that blood with both the hands. And then Lakshman is telling that, what are you doing, Lord Ram? This is blood. But still Lord Ram took that blood in his mouth, and he spat it also back. But again, it did not change the life. Then Lord Ram is thinking that, what exactly happened? Then he's saying that, tell me exactly, how did it become blood? So then one of the rishis, he said that whole story, that there is this Matanga Muni's disciple. She's an outcast disciple, Shabri, and he though died, but she's still living, and she came to fetch water from this lake, and this rishi threw a stone to her, and it injured her, and this drop of blood, fell into this particular lake, and it turned that all that water into blood. Then Lord Ram, on hearing the name Shabri, he placed both of his hand on his heart, and he said that, oh Rishi, that was not Shabri's blood. That was the blood from my heart. I cannot clean this. He's saying that. Just give me a minute. So the rishis are saying that without water, our life will become difficult. Do something, So then, Lord Ram is saying that, no, I've come to see her. Bring her to me. Send someone to bring her. Then one of the, rishis, he went to Shabri and said that Lord Ram has come and he's requesting. And then Shabri, on hearing this, came running to see Lord Ram. And the rishis thought that, her impure shadow should not touch Lord Ram. And they tried to stop her. But the soil from her feet fell into that water while she was running very hurriedly, to Lord Ram. And that blood turned back into water. So everyone was surprised, and they were asking themselves that, what happened exactly? How did this blood water turn as soon as the Shabri came? So then Lord Ram said that, see, did you see the dust from the Shabri's feet has purified the lake? And he's saying that, though I bathed in this water, I cleaned this water with my mouth, but nothing happened. Only the dust from the feet of this pure devotee has purified this lake. So the takeaway from here is that the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee is so powerful that it can purify any contamination of the mind, heart, and whatever anarthas we have. So Shabri is praying to Lord Ram that, see, please, Lord Ram, you have come till here. Please come to my hut. I've decorated all that hut with so many flowers. I bought sweet berries. You please come to my hut, Lord Ram. And Lord Ram and Lakshman, they are following her to this hut of hers. And she bought them very sweet berries in a bowl. And she had made it with leaves of that tree. So Ram was very pleased with that hard work she had gone through to bring those berries. And then she's telling Lord Ram that, see, I've selected only the sweet berries for you. I have tasted every berry to make it sure that I only bring the sweetest berries. She said, please accept, this little whatever I have bought. And then when Lord Ram bought that sweet, when Lord Ram, ate those, berries that were bought, he was about to eat. And then Lakshman is saying, oh, these are half-eaten, these are not good, these are her remnants, you should not take. But then, Lord Ram, he took the fruit and he ate it. And he said that, see, Lakshman, these berries are so sweet that I have never ever tasted such sweet berries. And these are Shabri's berries. So in the Bhagavad Gita, I have said that whoever offers me a fruit, a flower, a leaf, or water with love, I take it with great joy. So what did Shabri do? She, in that leaf bowl, she is giving berries. So she's giving leaf also, and she's giving in that leaf those berries also. And then she's giving, she's giving flowers also. Because when Lord Ram came, she had decorated that whole pathway with flowers. And Lord Ram is walking on those flowers, so that she's saying that his soft lotus feet should not get, pricked by some thorn or by mud or by some stone. So she offered him flower also, and she offered him love. So Lord Ram was very much touched by her love. He saw the leaves she used to make the bowl. He blessed that tree that, that leaves naturally grow, these leaves should grow to become bowls. As you picture, so these leaves became very big, leaves. And Ram asked her, ask me anything you want. I'm very pleased with your devotional service. And Shabri is praying that, see, I only want pure devotional service to you, Lord Ram. Then Ram blesses her and he leaves, So after this darshan of Shabri's body, Shabri actually immediately went to, the spiritual abode of Lord Sri Ram in her Saket Dham. So the principle over here is that no matter who one is or what is his origin, we can achieve the greatest spiritual advancement. So there is no bar or there is no barrier of caste and creed also. And also we should be very careful in dealings with everyone, especially with the devotees of Krishna. We should not offend the devotees of Krishna, because offending devotees of Krishna can bring many problems in life. And pleasing them will bring many blessings in our life. And ultimately, Lord Ram will be very pleased with us. So it is not that we do not offer to the Lord. It is not that what we are offering to the Lord, how big or small the things are, but with what devotion we are offering to the Lord, that is what the Supreme Lord is actually looking for. So he's not looking for some big gifts from us. He's just asking us something very simple, but the main ingredient in that service is actually love, or whatever you are offering it to. So this is one story that I am remembering. Then there is another story which is there where Lord Ram, he killed Ravana and he handed over this Lanka to Vibhishan. And everywhere, there is joy and, happiness and all. So Lord Ram decided to return to Ayodhya. with all these monkeys and his friends and all. So when Lord Ram reached Ayodhya, it was a celebration all over. The residents of Ayodhya, they are welcoming him, they are washing the roads, they are decorating their houses. And because why? Lord Ram was not just a king, but Lord Ram was the life and the soul of the citizens of Ayodhya. And for them, each moment was like a 12-year span. They did not enjoy any luxury, sacrificing all that comfort they had for the supreme, Lord, while Lord Ram was in his, exile. So when, they got the news, they all forgot themselves. The entire Ayodhya was very happy and jubilant. And not only people, but even the demigods were celebrating that moment. So at that time, the sun god was about to set. And when he saw the all attractive and all pleasing Ram, he was so much attracted that he just stood gazing and felt in trance. And he forgot that it was time for a setting. So in this way, like 1 month passed away, and it was day all over. And people were so much enjoying the celebration that they did not feel that 1 month has passed. And they never wanted this celebration to end. And but on the other side, the Chandra or the moon god was nervous and impatient to have darshan of the Lord, because when the sun will set, then the moon will rise, right? So Lord Ram was just smiling at all this. So only he knew that 30 days have passed. Sun god came to his consciousness, and hurriedly, he left on his chariot towards the west side. And by the mercy of the Lord, that 30-day duration just turned into a 24-hour duration, and no one felt it. So the Lord was about to proceed towards his palace, and up in the sky, the moon god was very sad and pale, because he missed, the spellbound Leela of Lord Ram. So the Lord knows the, heart of all his devotees, because he is the Paramatma. Because these sun god, moon god, they are also persons. They are also, people with a particular body being given to them. So Lord Ram knew the desire of moon god. So he was asking, Chandra, what is the matter? And Chandra is replying that, see, my lord, what sin I have done, that everyone else enjoyed your arrival except me. I did not, enjoy it all. You are merciful, you are Karuna Sindhu, and you are equal to all. Then why sun god got the opportunity to have your darshan, and then why not me? So then Lord Ram is saying that, see, Chandra, I know your wish. Don't lament. I will certainly fulfill your desire, but not this time. In my next incarnation as Krishna, I will appear on a full moon day, and then you can satisfy your desire by enjoying all my attractive and pleasing appearances, and also you will be glorified. So that is why he came in Krishna came in Chandra Vansha. Lord Ram came in Surya Vansha. So just see how Lord is so merciful, that he cares even for a small wish of his devotees and fulfills that wish by all means. Isn't that so, wonderful, that he's so caring for his devotees? One small wish, and that is why Lord Ram came in Surya Vanshi and Lord Krishna appeared in Chandra Vansh. What a mercy. So then once, Lord, what is the story? So, when Ravan had kidnapped Mother Sita, and Lord Ram was actually, finding her, looking at, he was roaming and looking around for her all the time, and he was crying, shouting, and he was so sad that, he's lost his wife. So the Lord was, so we should understand that the Lord is playing the role of a human, and he had to, express those emotions that, oh, I've lost. He cannot go around smiling, I've lost my wife, not like that. Though Lord Ram is always very pleasing personality, But because he was playing the role of a human, then he had those emotions of being sad also. So over there, Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, they're coming across this thing that, Lord Ram is finding Mother Sita, and from far, Lord Shiva is seeing that Lord Ram is coming. So Lord Shiva is actually bowing down to Lord Ram. So Mother Sati, she's saying that, why are you bowing down? So Lord Shiva said that, oh, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. That is why I'm bowing down. So Mother, she said that, but he's crying like a normal human being. How can he be God? I want to test him. So then Lord Shiva said that, see, go ahead, test him, but stay within your, limits or your principles. So then Mother Sati, she changed her form into Mother Sita, and she went in front of Lord Ram, trying to confuse him and fool him also. Of course, Lord Ram knew that she was Mother Sati, and he greeted her and he asked her, where is Lord Shiva? So she was very ashamed and she closed her eyes. That, even her, but though her eyes were closed, Lord Ram gave, her his darshan along with Mother Sita in her mind. So, but Lord Shiva knew. And so he thought to himself that today, see, she took the form of Mother Sita, whom I worship. So from today, I have to look at Sati like a mother. So he did not let her sit next to him anymore. Says, see, now I consider you as my mother. How can I allow you to sit next to me? Because you took the form of Mother Sita and she is like my mother. How can a mother sit next to the, son? So Sati could not bear this separation from her husband. And she came in front of Lord Shiva crying with a face. And then she went into meditation for many, many years. I think it was some 90 years or 80,000 years. And then we know that, Sati was born in the house of Daksha Prajapati. And then she was married to Lord Shiva. So when she heard of Lord Shiva being insulted in that yagya again, she could not take it and she jumped into the fire and she gave her life up. So the real reason that Lord Shiva let this happen because she had not recognized Lord Ram. She had not paid attention to his good advice. And she had taken the form of Mother Sita. Of course, we know that in future birth, Mother Sati came back as Mother Parvati. And she was married to Lord Shiva again by her strict tapasya. So Sati did not actually doubt Lord Ram or Lord Shiva, but she just put on this act to prove to the world that Lord Ram was not a human, because seeing how he went around crying for Mother Sita, people might doubt his divinity, and that is why this story actually took place. So, we should never doubt the Supreme Lord's acts. We should never doubt, why did it? Because every act that the Supreme Lord does has a sufficient meaning behind this, a sufficient cause behind it, and we do not know. Sitting over here with our limited senses, we will not know that what was the original purpose of Lord Ram to do at that particular act. So, there is one more, story I wanted to tell about. Ravana was a very powerful person. Ravana was the grandson of Pulatsya, one of the greatest sages, you can say, of the Saptarishis. So Ravana was born to this, mm, he was born to this sage Vishravan. I think his name is Vishravan, yeah. And his mother's name was Kaikashi. So that is why, his father was a sage, but the mother was Asura. And that is why he is considered half demon and half Brahman. So Ravana is also known as a very supreme antagonist, and he is depicted as the greatest demon of Lanka, because he had those 10 heads. So Ravan is a very great follower of Shiva. And this and Ravan had a lot of knowledge. He was very well versed in Ayurveda. He was very well versed with all these black magic, dark practices. So he used to control even the planetary positions with his will. He also had this, Pushpak women that he had taken from his step brother, as I told you last time. So he had mastered all this Tantra Vidya, which he used to use in all these battles against all his enemies. So when once Ravana was lifting this Mount Kailash, Lord Shiva crushed his forehead beneath the mountain, and then Ravana started, praising Lord Shiva. And as usual, Lord Shiva was very pleased with Ravana, and he was, he started, because Ravana was praising Lord Shiva, then Shiva started doing that Tandav, dance. And then all these, Shiv Tandav Stotram actually came from there. And attaining this education, this Ravana, he went under a very, strict tapasya to please Lord Shiva at the banks of the Narmada. So Ravana, what he did was, he was actually, cutting off his one head. As soon as he was cutting one head, another grew back. And he was sacrificing. And that is why he's called Dashamukha also, Dashananda also. And all these, 10 heads of these Ravanas, as I previously also told, that these are all the 6 Shastras that are there, and the 4 Vedas that are there. So Ravana's, all those heads that were there, they were, slashed. But only Vibhishan knew the tactics, that how to kill Ravana. So he told Ram that straight hit him on his heart, and nothing is going to, stop you from killing Lord Ram. So even this Angad, he also met Ram. So Angad, he met Ram. How he met Ram? That he went to Ravana's palace to warn him before the war. And Angad was very fiercely, he stood in front of he stood in front of Ravana, and he's offering him advice to, surrender to Lord Ram and accept the defeat from Lord Ram. So but because Ravana has a lot of ego and arrogance, so he does not listen to that advice. So Angad is, the youngest son of Vanar, Bali, and he also took very good part in all that, struggle that Lord Ram did to gain Sita, or to get Sita back. And this Angad also, he also, fought very valiantly. And so when Ram and his Vanar army, they were managing to cross this ocean, with the help of the goddess of water, then, she allows Lord Ram to place those stones and, make them floating. And then there's a long bridge built to cross that huge Lanka. So before this war, if you see, before the war between Ram and Ravan, Lord Ram had made every effort to stop the war. So even in, if you see in Mahabharata also, Lord Krishna himself went as a peacemaker. But Dhritarashtra and company, Duryodhana and company, they did not pay any heed to that peacemaking suggestion. So over here also, Angad went as a peacemaker. So because this war was between the good and the evil, or the gods and the evils, you can say. And there would be a lot of destruction of life. So Lord Ram thought that, why should we have so much destruction? The war is between me and Ravan. Why should the others be unnecessarily killed? So Lord Ram, he chose Angad to go to Ravana as a messenger and offer peace. So Angad saw Ram, as his, master. And Angad was very loyal to Lord Ram. So he accepted and he said that, okay, I will go at any cost. I will take this risk, because definitely entering into Ravana's Lanka was not an easy task. So Angada immediately, flew off to that palace as a messenger, and he flew, through that big window, and he stood in front of Ravana. And with very great courage, he is, standing in front of Lord Ram. So then everybody, over there at that court was confused that, that who is he, So, and Angada is, standing over there in full pride. If you've seen the Ramayana of Ramanand Sagar, I'm actually getting that picture in front of me. So Ravana is asking, why have you come over here? I'm sure you are, the son of Bali. So Angada is saying, yes, I'm sent by Lord Ram as a peace messenger. And this is the message of Lord Ram, that please, have, he's giving you, Lord Ram is offering you friendship hand towards you. And you please accept that. And you please return Mother Sita, and let's stop this war. So Ravana became very angry and he shouted at Angada that I would rather die than make peace with my enemy and surrender. And Angada has replied, okay, as you wish. And, we were just giving you a last chance to save yourself and your kingdom. But now that you've rejected, then war is inevitable. And nothing can stop Lord Ram, from taking Mother Sita back from you. And he'll destroy this golden city of yours. So Ravana could not stand this anymore, and he ordered all that, all his soldiers, go ahead and catch him and put him in the prison. But Angad, he immediately jumped off from that balcony and he managed to run away from there. So this story is saying that we should remain calm in every situation. And whenever there is danger also, now we should always be, calm. And that is why, because Angad was very calm. See, Ravana became angry, and if Angad would become angry, what would happen? Angada would actually be, prisoned over there in Ravana's, what do you say, kingdom, or in his prison house. So Ravana knew that, yes, I am weak against Lord Ram. And he knew that Ram's army is also very powerful. But yet he refused to accept peace because of his arrogance and his ego. And that is why, if you see, arrogance and ego crushes a person, destroys a person. That person will never get ever peace in his life. Anybody who has got arrogance and ego. So this foolishness of Ravana led him to an end of his kingdom. And that is why, we should also see that we should not put anybody's life into danger just for our own ego. So, when we say, about Ram, then we can say that who can become a friend of Lord Ram? So this Ramayana story is full of examples of great devotees from various backgrounds who selflessly served Ram, or all, right from Valmiki, who was a hunter, or Guha, who was a tribal man, or Kevat, who was a person who was just sailing a boat, or even an animal like Jatayu, or even monkey like Hanuman, or even you can say anybody became Sugriva, who was a monkey. He also became a very dear friend of Lord Ram, and he's engaging so many. Even a squirrel, she also actually impressed Lord Ram, and she also won Lord Ram's heart. And many other characters that are there, these all characters are just giving only one depiction, that in the Bhagavatam there is one shloka where Sugriv is declaring that na janmanunam mahatar saubhagyam na vanna buddhi na kritistosh hetu tad no, what is that? Sir ed vishitan apina vanakutas chakra sakhe bata lakshmana grajah. He's saying that nobody can establish a relationship with the Supreme Lord based on any material qualities. Maybe somebody's birth, oh, I'm very rich. That is why rich and rich, can be friends. Or he's very beautiful and even I am very beautiful. Or he has very sharp intelligence and even I have. So none of these qualifications are a prerequisite for friendship with Lord Ram. Otherwise, how is it possible that though, there were so many uncivilized people in the forest who have not taken any birth in any noble family and without any physical beauty also. Shabri was not beautiful at all. So, and although we were not able to speak like a gentleman also, but still, Sugriva is saying that still Lord Ramachandra has accepted us as friends. This is the qualification that unalloyed devotional service, because they performed unalloyed devotional. So Lord Ram accepted them as uh, these friends. So you know, Ramayana gives very profound lessons, and it also inspires us to retrieve our revive our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord. So there are so many examples that Lord Ram is also teaching by his own personal example. There are so many episodes also. There are so many profound messages also that Ramayana is giving us, that how we can, please the Supreme Lord. So uh, these all messages that the Supreme Lord is giving, or these messages or these examples are given to us so that we can love God. Even God loves us, and we can also experience it, but we can experience that love when we approach the Supreme Lord in a very right spirit. Just as we can watch a video just by clicking, okay, right click, left click, but we can experience the Lord's love by approaching him in a right way. So the tradition of this bhakti is that when you approach is through only selfless love, then you will be able to approach. Otherwise, if we are trying to do some barter exchange with the Supreme Lord, then or some merchant business with the Supreme Lord, is very difficult to access or experience that love. So only by love we can access love. By some selfish motive, we cannot access love. Love will only attract love. So when we love God, we experience his love in exchange. So, in fact, God loves us even if we do not love him. But if we start loving the Lord, even in the beginning stages of love, we can appreciate how he loves us. So we are over here, the Lord is not looking at a barometer that, okay, 100% love, then only I will give love in exchange. No, even if you're giving 1%, still the Lord is giving you love in exchange. If you're giving 1% love to the Supreme Lord, the Lord is giving 10% love to you in return. So the more we recognize his love for us, and the more we appreciate that love, the more we are inspired to love him unconditionally. And when our love for him is fully, blossoming, then we experience the supreme, unparalleled bliss of spiritual love and a relationship with him. So many of the episodes that are, there in our scriptures, in Bhagavatam, Ramayana, they are showing us how much the Lord loves the living entities, how eager the Lord is to bring the living entities in his loving company. And the Vaishnava Acharyas are also endeavoring and explaining us again and again that the Lord wants us, the Lord is looking for our company. So even by, his own personal example, the Supreme Lord is giving us that uh, Lord Ram's life is teaching us very great lessons to all multiple levels. So if you see, when you read Ramayana, then there are layers. I was just hearing His Grace Shubhavilas Prabhu is saying that Ramayana is so deep that from 8 years he's been, diving deep into that. Every time he's reading Ramayana, he's unfolding so many layers in that Ramayana. So out of the love for the people in this world, the Lord is teaching us by His example how to be an ideal husband, how to be an ideal son, how to be an ideal brother, how to be an ideal king, an ideal human being. And by following His teachings and His footsteps, we can very, very, easily perform our duties in the world and reach to His eternal abode. So, uh, you know, uh, there are many episodes, but there is a very profound message that Ramayana is giving us. That, of course, there are many other profound messages, but one of the messages that comes to my mind is that Sita was attracted to this illusionary deer in this pastime, and this illusionary deer, is representing the living beings who has a tendency to get attracted to these illusionary objects for material enjoyment. So, Sita is the living being and the deer is the illusionary object. So Sita got, illusion to that illusionary object. So this attraction is keeping, one in this material world. So, and what is that attraction? That attraction is Lanka, Sone ki Lanka. People want gold, people want wealth. So just as though Sita was in a golden Lanka, she suffered in Lanka in the company of demons. The living beings that get, deviated from spiritual life suffer due to these all materialistic, association. All those who were her companions, all those Rakshashanis were her companions. So just as Lord Ram lamented in separation from Sita, he feels pain when somebody gets distracted from spiritual life due to all these material maya or allurements. So Lord Ram knows that these living beings are best suited in devotional service only and in loving protection only. So that is why this all merciful Lord Ram, being, situated as the supreme well-wisher of all the living entities, Surida Sarva Bhutanam, he tries to bring that deviated person back to spiritual life somehow or other. And when all these living entities sincerely desire to connect with the Lord and get rid of all this material association, the Lord, even more enthusiastically tries to help them. So Lord Ram knew Mother Sita's heart uh, to rejoin him, and Ram had sent Hanuman to her first. So Hanuman is representing what? Guru. So similarly, Lord is also sending our representatives, the spiritual master, to re-establish our lost connection between us and the Supreme Lord. And the Guru is illuminating the consciousness of the Jiva by giving information about the Lord, and he's specifying the suffering of that living entity. So just as Hanuman is also chanting the names and pastimes of Lord Ram in front of Sita, the Guru also is instructing the living being by giving the holy name of the Lord and describing his pastimes and his qualities. So Lord Ram personally came to Lanka to rescue Sita. The Lord also personally saves his living beings who are very serious enough to associate with him. So Lord is also, ready to undergo all the efforts to reclaim the living beings. But, this love that is there, this is the unparalleled love of the Lord for all of us. And this is the, pristine, loving relation we can establish with Lord through this beautiful path of devotional service under the guidance of Guru. So um, so we should not get deviated. So, we should not be deviated from any imagination or any other allurements, because there will be many allurements. There'll be, Kam, Krodh, Mad, Moh, Lobh, Matsar. There'll be so many things. But if we understand that, that only by, worshipping the Supreme Lord and by, listening to the representative or the Guru, then, we will have perfect relationship with the Supreme Lord. So, even Dhruv Maharaj is a very small child. He desired Lord Vishnu and he came to Lord with some material motive. But still, whom did the Lord send? Lord sent Narad Muni to help. For Ajamil, whom did Lord send? So he sent, the Vishnu Dutas to save him. For Gajendra, when he prayed to the Lord, then who came to save him? The Lord himself came to save him, from that crocodile. So this is Lord's love. So even if we show little interest in the path of this bhakti, the Lord will reach out to us very enthusiastically, showering his mercy. But we have to understand what is the aim of this human life. And we have to establish that relationship with the Supreme Lord by chanting the holy names of the Lord. And that's how we can establish that relationship with the Supreme Lord. So, I rest my speech over here. Any questions, queries, doubts?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Mm.
Your speech was so captivating and it has made my envious mind towards non-enviousness and listening it from very, very patiently. Mataji, I'm a student and from weeks I was not doing japa because of this procrastination. Not only enviousness from others, I was having enviousness from Bhagwan also. There and I was knowing like Ravana that Bhagwan is great, but by arrogance, my everything was crushed, and I just go on with my peace. So I thank you that you have done uh, this session. It has blessed me.
I'm happy to be of some service. So, Manasvi, how you got connected to this, link? How you got connected?
I got connected by Sanskriti Mataji.
Sanskriti Mataji. Okay. Yeah, fine. So, yeah, I think I am going to take regular classes for Jalgaon girls. And we have started a Hindi Bhagavad Gita class also. Then you can get added into that particular class also. So then you keep on getting, messages. So you will be in association.
Yes.
Please, you'll keep on chanting again and again. Okay, honestly.
Hari Bol.
Anybody else has any question, queries, comments, doubts, or reflections? Reflection means how did you like the class? What is that one point that you liked about the class which touched your heart? That also you can share. Anything striking you liked about the class?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Last class also and this class also was very beautiful. It was like pura dhyan खींच रहा है. For a single second also I was not able to distract at all. Thank you so much for the beautiful class and Shri Ram.
See, these are stories and stories attract. But what we can learn from these stories, then that is a takeaway for us. So I told only stories. Stories are so endearing to the ears. And it is about whom? It is about the Supreme Lord. So it will be definitely, when we have a favorable attitude, then it will be very, relishing to the ears also.
I love the Shabri Mataji, where she was so selflessly doing everything without any expectations, and the way she loved Sri Ram, and whatever she did, it was really very much inspiring, also motivating, also, and further I can really relate. Yes, this is the service we should do.
Because I can also relate myself with Shabri a lot, and that's one of my very favorite characters in Ramayana. And the squirrel is also one of my favorite characters. That whatever capacity you have, in any capacity you can serve. Not necessary that you have to be Hanuman only and take big leaps to please the Lord. You can take small steps also to please the Lord. So the Lord is not comparing, Hanuman and the squirrel. The Lord, in fact, in the previous class, I told that, okay, she is also serving me and you are also serving me. Both are dear to me. She is serving in her capacity to the best of her ability. And Hanuman is also, serving me to the best of his ability. So these are two of my favorite characters because Shabri, because I'm a woman and even Shabri is a woman and I can easily, resonate with her very easily and relate to her very easily. Yeah, Mataji. Something more you wanted to add?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Lavanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, first I would like to tell about the class. It was really very, very, very wonderful. There are no words because Ramayana is something which every step we can learn the lesson. Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, every step it is like, just like nectarious. And one more thing I observed, not observed, I learned is squirrel. We say in Bhagavad Gita it's written like animals do not have the intelligence and human have the intelligence, but squirrel is the best example and animals are the best example. Though we don't have intelligence, just by little belief on God, if we go under the shelter of God, he will definitely save us.
Very
And
nice. Very
about Shabari,
We have
about
one more
Shabari
class tomorrow also in Hindi. So
oh,
another stories of full Ramayan. So I'm not going to repeat. So till now I finished 3 classes, 2 classes in English, 1 class in Hindi. Tomorrow another class in Hindi again, same time, same link. Everything will be same, will be posted.
thank you
So
so much, Mataji. I
another
would be very
series
fortunate to
of
join.
stories from the Ramayana, because Ramayana is such a thing that you can go on and on and on and on and on. Like
In material world, we say that we don't need any age for love, isn't it or not? But in spiritual life also we don't need any age to show love to God, because spiritual life is completely eternal and we are soul, we do not have birth, that everything and all. So whatever the age might be, whatever we are, like human, animal, whatever we might be, at any cost, in any circumstances, at single point of time also, if we try, to get the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme, then that's enough. That word I can only say and end it off. Thank you so much.
welcome. Happy to be of some service to everybody over here. Anybody else has any realizations? Priyanka has some realization and Yashasvi also has. Mataji, I love what principles Ravana has given due to his experience before the Lord. Okay, yeah. Those experiences are very nice. Hare Krishna Mataji, we have seen Ramayana from childhood so many times, but when hearing it in this class was totally different experience because the way you have so beautifully connected to the spiritual sense, Bhagavatam, and the takeaway you have provided was a first timer. The most captivating is the story of squirrel, and I really wish I could attain that love and devotion the little squirrel had towards the Lord. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, Ram, can you explain the meaning of Rama mantra? What is Rama mantra? Rupa Mataji, unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay, maybe she is driving to school for her children. I had explained the meaning of Ram Nam. Yeah, Ram means only the all pleasure giving. In the very beginning only, I had explained that what is the meaning of Lord Ram. Yogina Ramante. This is what I had explained in the very beginning, that the meaning of Lord Ram is that Ramante Yogina, that those who are, taking great pleasure. Ram is an ocean of pleasure. That is the meaning of Ram. Or one who provides pleasure simply by his darshan. That is Lord Ram. So Ram basically means one who is a reservoir of pleasure. He can only give pleasure. He cannot give anything else. Okay, Mataji. Anything else anybody has? Any reflections? What story touched your heart, or what characteristics of Lord or quality of Lord touched your heart? Okay, if anybody don't have reflection, then we'll hold the class over here. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for the active participation and helping me purify my consciousness also. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna. Ramachandra ki jai. Tomorrow our chanting will be very good because tomorrow is Ram Navami. Tomorrow is the birth of Lord Ram. So tomorrow's chanting will be very good. And tomorrow again 8 o'clock we'll glorify the Supreme Lord in Hindi language. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Danda Pranam.
Dhanvad Prabhu. Dhanvad.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Oh,